Okay, hi. I've got my camera angled at a little bit of a different way. Let me see if I can just... That's better. Okay. It's weird because it's like not looking straight for me, and I'm so used to like looking over here, um, because that's where my lens would be, so now it's over here. But I do have another OC, my Vampire Diaries OC. And we are joined by my cat Leslie, who is curled up on my lap right now. And his birthday was the 31st of May. It was our Memorial Day cookout, and it was also my other brother's birthday. Leslie did not get anything special for his birthday, and I feel bad. However, every single time I have tried to like make him toys, because there are a few patterns that I can do with crochet and everything, and I tie it really tight so he doesn't get any loose pieces of yarn out. He doesn't play with them. He's not really a toy kind of cat. Every once in a while, there will be like one of the toys that the girls have, because we have two females in the house. Butterscotch and Reese Cup do play with toys. Leslie does not. So, he also didn't get like any canned food or anything like that, because he's really picky when it comes to like wet food. He doesn't really eat chicken. He doesn't eat beef, pork. He really won't eat the canned food. He doesn't care for gravy. For whatever reason, every single time we get Chinese food, the dishes that I get, because I always get some sort of chicken dish, he absolutely loves the smell of it. He will always stick his nose right around it and everything, but sadly he didn't get anything for his birthday. I wanted to get him either a new collar, because he's got his... he's got Maestro's old collar when Maestro was a puppy. It was his first collar. We had one on Leslie. It was just, he just kept breaking it off. And it was just, it was for a kitten. It was way too big. Way too small for him, so. But yeah, he's sound asleep in my lap. Maybe for his 3rd birthday next year, I'll be able to get him a collar. I wanted to get him a bed, because he's always laying on mine. Or get him a pillow, and put something on it, like sew an old t-shirt or something on it that smelled like me. That way, if I'm ever not in my room and he feels really anxious, he can always go over there, because he is a tom in a house full of females. He's not allowed around the females. He's not allowed to roam about the house, so he's usually either in here, in the laundry room, or he's in the closed-off front porch. No, the screened-in front porch, I'm sorry. And we had bad thunderstorms, so I had to bring him back in. But right now, he's being good. But we are going to talk about the Vampire Diaries. Ugh. And you can't laugh at my character, please. Now, I am going to have this as my character moving to Mystic Falls when she's really young. So if you don't know what the Vampire Diaries is, the Vampire Diaries revolves around a town called Mystic Falls. I think it's Virginia. And everything in there is supernaturally based. It has a lot of supernatural history in it. And instead of being a vampire or a werewolf or anything like that, or a hybrid even, she is a witch. Now, she is a witch that originally lived in Salem. She literally lived in Salem. And birthday and everything is the same as mine. She did graduate high school. She does go to college online. But when I have her tied in to the original storyline, she's taking a hiatus from college just because of all the supernatural shit that keeps happening. She could not keep up with her classes. She was going to fail anyway, so. She does have a lot of nicknames from Damon. She is alive. Like I said, she is a witch. It's Sarah Sanderson. And I didn't think until after I wrote everything out for her about Sarah Sanderson from Hocus Pocus. It popped in my head. It sounded familiar, but it also sounded really good. It was either that or Sarah Spellman. Don't judge me. It was going to be something where Damon was going to be able to not nitpick, but joke at her for it. So, like, he does compare her a lot to her namesake counterpart from the Sanderson sisters film Hocus Pocus. But I went online to look at all the people who had been tried as a witch back in the 1600s, trying to find like a family name that would probably go better. That way it was more authentic. And I couldn't find any that I really liked. And I understand if that sounds very insensitive. In no way am I trying to be insensitive. And I understand if me saying that, oh, my character is a witch in a supernatural show, and I got like the last name or something from an actual Salem witch, or somebody who was accused of witchcraft. Because I don't know if they actually practiced or not. But I don't want to be insensitive, so I'm sorry if it sounds that way. I'm not trying to come across that way. But she does have a couple of nicknames, especially from Damon. The Good Little Witch, Glinda, Weird Little Witch, stuff like that. Munchkin, Squirt, 'cause she's short, obviously. Wendy, the Good Little Witch, because when he first meets her, she's got like, I've got my red and black plaid poncho. That is the time he meets her for the first time. She's got like a black t-shirt underneath of it, that on it, jeans, and black boots, and he meets her that way. And when Damon meets her, she's, I'm gonna say 16, because when these episodes came out, it was still in the late, it was like 2017 when the series ended. So if it ended after 8 seasons, hold on. 8 was 17, 7, 16, 6, 15. Okay, so she's 16 when they first meet. Or do I want to do that a different way? I might change the year. I might change it to, like, maybe 1994? No, 1993 would be perfect, because that's when the Sanderson movie. That's when Hocus Pocus came out. So yeah, I'm gonna change that to 93. So she was born on August 20th, 1993. Now my actual birthday is August 20th, 1998. So I am aging myself up a little bit, so it's not weird when she meets Kai. Family, the Sanderson sisters, I do have them. Technically speaking, they are real witches in this, but they're not the way the movie portrayed. They were people who were, they were 3 sisters who lived alone. They didn't live together. They did not get married. And they were just old spinsters. And instead of like sucking the souls out of children, they were actually the ones that the children would go to if they were sick, if they were ill, and they would just create a home remedy that somehow worked. However, what they didn't realize was that they were actually witches. So, like, there's going to be some sort of tie to the Michelson, the Michelsons family witch, which I do not remember which one it is. If I remember, I'll put it somewhere. I will definitely, I'm sorry I'm itching my nose. I got makeup on, and for whatever reason, my nose is really itchy and my eyes are really watery. But, yes, she is related to the actual Sanderson sisters, and like I said, I could not find anything of them being actual, women tried for being witches in the 1600s. However, that does not mean at some point there were not Sanderson sisters who were tried for witchcraft in other countries. I only know what happened in the States, so I did not look for other countries, so chances are very well could have happened. Unnamed grandfather, or great-grandfather, unnamed great-grandmother. I do have her father's name is Richard, and her mother is Sabrina Spellman. Do not judge me. Like I said, I might actually. I thought about it. I thought about dyeing my hair that platinum blonde or getting a platinum blonde wig, spending a fair amount of money on it, and dressing up as Sabrina for Halloween one year. I might do that this year. The original Sabrina, not really the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I didn't. I don't know. I was iffy about that series, but then again, I'm not somebody who's really into the horror aspect of stuff. That's why, for the most part, Supernatural, I like it, but it's certain episodes. So, okay, Kai. Now, like I said, she's been at Mystic Falls for years. She actually grew up there instead of in Salem. She was born in Salem, but she grew up in Mystic Falls. So when everything starts coming to fruition about the Salvatore brothers being actual... Oh, shit. Sorry, somebody uploaded, and I got a notification. Tea is about to be spilled. When they move... when the Salvatore brothers are back, so... when they first meet everyone again, so Elena, Caroline, Bonnie, they're all in high school still. And it's not too long after Elena's parents died, after she went back to school, does she get involved in the original story. She's more or less just a bystander. You see her a lot hanging around Jeremy. Her and Jeremy are really close. They're good friends and everything. And like I said, she's probably going to start off probably around the same age as Jer. Or maybe a little bit old. No, she'd be older than Jeremy. When was Jeremy born in this series? I don't know. But in season 5, when Bonnie is supposed to be the anchor to the other side, so it's like what happens after death, something happens, and I can't remember exactly. I'm so sorry. I haven't watched it in a long time. This was really just off the top of my head and what little research I did, again, to get my facts straight. But I do know the Kai episodes very easily. Do not judge me. That is something else I don't quite understand. You know what? I'll get into the tangent after I explain everything. In the episode Home, season 5, episode 22, it's when Bonnie is the anchor to the other side, and the other side collapses, and then they get sucked into this prison world, and they don't realize it's a prison world, and it's also not as abandoned as they thought, because, you know, Kai pops up. And instead of Damon going and seeing Kai, because he's eating the pork rinds in the middle of the grocery store, sitting on the lawn chairs, and by the alcohol section, instead of Damon meeting him, she meets him. Bonnie and Damon were getting in not a fighting match, but just bitching at each other, so she goes off to another aisle. And then she comes across Kai. Kai offers her a pork rind the same way he did Damon. And to be completely honest, she really doesn't care. She just grabs a pork rind, she's cool with it, and Kai knows from the very beginning that she's different, that she somehow is blindly going to trust him. Now, when Damon comes around hunting for her so they can get ready to leave, they stumble across Kai. Kai actually does put vervain in the bourbon that he grabs to get a big swig of, and instead of him saying that instead of Bonnie being the one to light the alcohol on fire, it is her. But he does still taunt Bonnie, like, oh, look at this one. The younger witch, or the same age, I don't remember how old they're supposed to be in the show. Oh, that witch is able to use her powers. I've watched you struggle for days now. What are you going to do? Fail at me again? So they do knock him out and everything, and they take him back to the Salvatore boarding house where they're staying. And I think they're staying at they're staying at the Salvatore boarding house at that point. He goes through his whole spiel, kind of everything that he's done in the prison world and all this other kind of stuff. And then there's that artifact that they have to use in order to escape on the lunar eclipse. I think it's the lunar eclipse. Hold on, I can look this stuff up and keep it in the background, actually. Leslie, Bubba, Mama's legs are going to sleep. There we go. I'm going to lower you guys down. So, kind of a different angle. Sorry. And I'm going to angle you guys up just a bit. There we go. Okay, so Kai. Throughout the Vampire Diaries, Demon Salvatore and Bonnie Bennett in the prison world for some time, Kai made his presence known to them at Bell's Market in the otherworldly Mystic Falls. When Damon encountered him after having a fight with Bonnie, Kai is overwhelmed by Bonnie's magic. What are you gonna do? Fail at me? I can't remember everything. They took him prisoner to the Salvatore boarding house and began questioning him on why he tried to kill Damon. He finally revealed that he did it to use fear to trigger Bonnie's magical abilities again before admitting the most important detail, that Bonnie's magic is their key to escape. Okay, so instead of it being Bonnie's magic, I do have it being my character's magic because of one simple fact. I do have it to where her family lineage is filled with siphoners. So just like when Josie and Lizzie are born, they are born siphoners. But for whatever reason, when they siphon magic, it doesn't seem as painful as it is when Kai does it. For whatever reason, I'm unsure. That's just the way the show portrays it. I think it's really weird. And Josie and Lizzie are Kai's nieces. Yeah, because they're originally Joe's kids, and then everything happens with them. Can I just say, really, really quick, that Chris Wood is a fucking incredible actor. Because every single time he gets these roles where he plays a sociopath in some way, shape, or form, he nails it. He hits the nail on the head every single time, and it kind of makes me worried that I really like these characters. The Black Hole Sun, in the Black Hole Sun episode, Kai remained Damon and Bonnie's prisoner, and questioned why Damon thought that this day in the dimension they were forced to relive over and over was Damon's own personal hell. Damon refused to tell him, but Kai explained that Bonnie's magic was only part of the equation for escape, and Damon's reasons for hating this day could be the other. After they brought Kai the supplies he requested, Damon told them what happened on May 10th, 1994. I do not remember. Kai fell asleep during the story. Oh. He killed a pregnant woman. Huh? Kai mocked Damon. Damon threatened to kill Kai if he doesn't start explaining how to escape their world. That's right, the Ascendant. Instead of it being Bonnie's blood, it's Sarah's blood. So, for once, throughout the entire series, instead of needing a Bennett, they need an original Salem line. Because, not an original Salem line, what am I thinking? I think I'm just thinking of the Sandersons. Someone straight from the Sanderson line. Because of the fact that they didn't necessarily belong to a coven. They were just... I know coven can also mean family, in certain retrospects. But in this case, he just needed her blood, not Bonnie's. And when he siphons magic from her, it doesn't really faze her. So, like, there's a couple episodes with Kai, he uses that siphoning almost as a way to threaten Bonnie in a way because she doesn't like that pain. But when he goes to do the same thing to her, it doesn't cause her any pain. And Leslie, would you please stop? He does this every single time because he wants out of the room, but he's not allowed out of the room because the girls are out there and he's not fixed. That is on me and also my ex because he didn't think that it was right to go and get a male cat fixed. But when Kai tells them everything that happened with his family, she in a way sympathizes with him because she has a family, not has a family, but she has several members of her family that are siphoners. I'm lowering my chair. She has several family members in her coven that are siphoners, and instead of treating them any differently, they were able to create some sort of spell. That way, anybody who needed to siphon magic from them, they were able to do it without harming the other, because I do understand that probably sucks a lot of power out of your body, and that can be extremely painful. And then when the Kai is killed picture kills he's just the world has turned and left me here. Kai met up with Bonnie and Damon in the woods, preparation for the ritual, and explaining the eclipse would happen directly overhead in perfect alignment with the Gemini constellation. He informed them that they needed to do the spell underground and let the light of the moon and the sun pour through the hole that Damon would dig up, and so that the light would come in. Then it would activate the power of the Ascendant, and anyone touching the relic in the sun would be sent back to Earth. Bonnie asked to see the spell, and Kai told her he would show her just before they did it before going to town to get some supplies. Kai returned to find Damon done digging the hole, and a suspicious-looking Damon looked through Kai's backpack to find supplies. The supplies were materialistic mementos from 1994. He jokingly explained that he was excited for the future, but 1994 has been his home for almost 2 decades. Yeah, because they are stuck in 1994, and Kai has been stuck there since his 21st birthday. So by this time, I think his twin sister is in her 40s, late 30s, early 40s, when her and Alaric are supposed to get married later in the series. Bonnie demands to see the spell before going into the cave, but Kai just stood there patiently, knowing that they had no leverage. Bonnie gave in, but yeah. After Bonnie figured out that the prison world was created by a Bennett witch, I am going to have that to where, to a certain extent, that is true. But they have it to where, like, after so many years, it, in a way, will be worn off to any witch. So it doesn't only have to be a Bennett witch to get in and out of that prison world with that ascendant. Because I think each prison world has a different ascendant. All the memories are flooding back to me now. They struggle in the prison world. Kai watches in utter rage as the ascendant fell to the ground, shattered. Oh, wait. Damon was able to leave and Bonnie wasn't. So instead of Damon being able to leave, it's both Damon and Bonnie. So Sarah is actually stuck in that prison world. However, instead of going around trying to kill her for the next, I don't know how long until the next eclipse, her and Kai actually do get to know each other. He is, for the most part, fairly calm every single time he goes to fire an arrow at her or something. She's able to hear it and she actually dodges it. Because one of the perks of her magic is that she can sense everything around her, and especially if it's something flying right towards her, she's able to stop it. Her powers are similar to Bonnie's, but they're not at the same time. They've taken a little bit of a different route. So obviously they're going to be a little bit different. And it's just to prove a point that, like, not everything has to involve a Bennett witch. I love the series and I love Bonnie as a character, do not get me wrong, but I seriously wish they would have been able to use more witches instead of solely relying on Bonnie. And I understand the writers probably did that because they were very prejudiced against Bonnie. They were also very prejudiced against Kat. They were very racist against Kat. And a whole bunch of other shit happened on that set. So I can only imagine how bad that was. I guess that's also why whenever it comes to like the blooper reels and everything that you see for the Vampire Diaries, you don't really see Kat that much. You don't see Bonnie's actress. So I wonder how bad it was on set for her. And I feel bad that she had to go through that. However, I still absolutely love her as a character, and I love her as an actress. But yeah, in no way is my character supposed to act like she's better than Bonnie or anything like that. It's kind of just that extra witch to keep that off of her. To keep all that responsibility off of Bonnie. Because yes, she's one of the original witches to Mystic Falls, but she's not the only witch in Mystic Falls. Everything does say Bennett Witch, or they say Sanderson, or they say Spellman, so that can be either Bonnie or my characters. But it's only really prevalent when it comes to dealing with Kai. It's also really common whenever dealing with Kai that it's the Sanderson my character, Sanderson blood or anything like that, because they chose his parents. Like I said, Kai was born into a Gemini coven, so every time there are twins, one twin is always going to be stronger than the other. They have this huge ceremony where one of the twins siphons the magic from the other. I think it's supposed to kill the weaker twin, but the stronger twin becomes the leader of that coven. And they absorb all that magic. But from the moment Kai is born, they automatically know that he's a siphoner. I don't know when his powers came to fruition. I don't know when Jo, his twin sister, I don't know when her powers came to fruition. But it's just the fact that she, in a way, sympathizes with him because of the fact that she has so many siphoners in her line. She's like, oh, so my great-grandfather was a siphoner, and then my grandmother was a siphoner. And then when my mom married my dad, that gene kind of skipped my generation because, you know, we had a normal human in the line, which was very often. So, like, I don't know. I don't know how exactly to go about it. It's not really like her line has been diluted, but it's more or less just like there's been so many mixtures of everything in her line that it's not going to matter either way how a Sanderson witch gets their magic. As long as they have even a shred of it in there, even if it's a siphoner, there are ways around that. So yeah, when Kai is telling her everything that he did to his siblings in a way to scare her, it doesn't really work. Because, like, this is what I don't understand when people will talk about, like, the Salvatore brothers and the Michelson family and every other vampire or werewolf in Mystic Falls. They will throw an absolute bitch fit about Kai being a sociopath as well as a siphoner. However, when it comes to talking about Damon, who killed I don't know how many people in a fit of rage, I don't know how many times he killed Bonnie, he killed Jeremy, I think he killed Elena once or twice, and killing Stefan, and people will still bitch that Kai is so much worse because he killed family. Now wait a minute. Wait a fucking second, because these are the same people who will thirst after Klaus, Cole, and Elijah, as well as Rebecca. Like, this Michelson family have been killing each other for decades, and obviously they're originals. There's a certain way you can kill an original. I think it's a dagger dipped in white oak. Leslie's trying to get a piece of string on my jewelry box. Did you get it? You didn't get it. No, you didn't. Okay. It was a piece of paper. And then all of a sudden when they are back into the real world and I alone, when they're actually able to get out of there and Kai goes after the siblings that he didn't get to kill, she is one of the few people that gets him not to do that. And it's really just because it's like, if you keep doing this, you're going to end up in jail. You're not going to be able to enjoy modern time. In a way, she's kind of just like playing his little game. Like, okay, why don't you put a pause on all that stuff, on killing your family, and let's just go around and see Mystic Falls. It's been a few months, weeks, years, I don't know how long that they were in the prison world, that we've been here. I want to go and tell everyone that I'm okay. And you can't be killing your siblings left, right, and center. Sheriff Forbes will not allow it. So in a way, she is able to keep Kai a little under the radar, so they still remain friendly to a certain extent. Now, when he has the, when is it? When he absorbs the Traveler spell over Mystic Falls, and he gains all that power, he kidnaps Elena. However, my character is still there with him. She is essentially stuck in the same room as Elena, going through the same shit as Elena, other than, like, carving a K into her cheek with his magic because he's testing it. But that's one of the moments where you kind of see that he's got a slight soft spot for her, and it sounds so fucking twisted because Kai is a sociopath. But Kai doesn't want to hurt her. Whatever it is, for whatever reason, Kai does not have a bone in his body that wants to hurt her. And in many ways, it almost acts as if he's going to protect her. So it's really odd. I know sociopaths are not capable of feeling things like happiness or fear or love, or anything of the such, but for whatever reason, it's almost as if he's gaining back his humanity to a certain extent. Now, that being said, that doesn't make anything going on better. Because she is still she doesn't trust Kai, but she is comfortable enough around him to know that he's not going to hurt her. He's had every opportunity to kill her several times in the prison world. He never did. He tried to, but that's beside the point. So when he... Serving magic in this... Oh, that's right. Okay. So Luke is another part of twins that is his siblings, his younger siblings. It's his younger brother convinces Kai to merge with him instead of his twin sister Jo, because Jo knew she was going to lose. But between Luke and Liv, who are the two other twins, Luke is the weakest of the two. Liv is a lot stronger than Luke. So he proposes that he's going to merge with Kai, which is what they do. That's how the weaker of the two twins gets weeded out, and then whoever is the strongest of the two older twins, usually, they would be the leader of the coven. I don't understand why it's always... Leslie, please, stop. Mom is talking. I don't understand why it's always a set of twins. I don't know if it's just because they are a Gemini coven, and Geminis are supposed to be two-faced. My best friend's a Gemini. She's not two-faced at all. The only two faces she has is her happy face and a resting bitch face. So those are the only two fucking faces she has. She does not hide her emotions, at least from me. She will honestly tell me if I've been on her fucking nerves. She is entitled to tell me that because she's been my best friend for fucking decades, okay? I hate that fucking... I hate it. I hate when they're like, oh, but Geminis are so two-faced. Like, bitch, look at your star sign. Look at your chart. If you are as bad as she is, which she's not bad, don't worry. I love you. It's your birthday. I'm not going to be bitching about you on your birthday. All good things. But I don't understand that. All that shit with the two-face. Shit. So when Kai merges with Luke, he actually gains his humanity in a certain sense. He gained a lot of Luke's qualities, like his empathy. So when Kai is doing something horrendous or thinking of all the shit that he did, he starts to cry. So he is actually somehow able to keep that. He does want to apologize to Bonnie and Damon for doing everything that they did. He wants to apologize to Sarah for not, for pushing her boundaries as often as he did in the prison world, because to a certain extent, he's just being Kai. He's walking in on her whenever she's in the shower. He's being an ass. He's just being Kai. To be completely honest, just being Kai. There's no other way to put it. He tries to fix the Ascendant. He can't bring himself to kill Liv. And he seeks help from Joe. And let her go. Kai turned up at Joe's door claiming he wasn't feeling good. This is when we find out that Joe is pregnant. So Joe and Alaric have been dating, they've been dating for like several months. And it's around then that she starts feeling ill, and whatever that one twin is feeling, the other one feels. So when Joe starts feeling morning sickness when she is pregnant, Kai starts to feel those same symptoms. Kai learns that she's pregnant. Oh, that's right. That's when Damon learns that his mom is alive. Kai tries to apologize for Bonnie. So all the shit that he goes through trying to apologize to Bonnie, trying to make amends, trying to be in a way on their good side, he still has very much of his original sociopathic Kai qualities about him, but it's tied in now with Luke's qualities. So instead of solely going to Bonnie to apologize, he goes to all three of them and tries to apologize. And obviously Bonnie still does not want anything to do with him, because he once or twice did try to kill her and did painfully siphon magic from her. So he does, however, when they get sent to the 1903 prison world, when they discover all of Mrs. Salvatore's, Damon and Stefan's mom, when they discover the heretics, he does, in a way, he wants to protect everyone. So you can see slowly things starting to turn around until I'll wed you in the golden summertime, because they left him in 1903, and from then on, my character just complains the entire time. She's a real ass, saying that she understood Kai. Kai was able to show her all the emotions that he felt as a child, because one thing that really fucking irritates me about the Gemini Coven that Kai is from, the Parker family, it's that because of him being a siphoner, they completely shut him out. No amount of physical contact, no one was able to touch him, no one was able to play with him, no one was able to do anything, to a certain extent. I think they might have been able to play with him a little bit, but no one was able to physically touch them. Depending on when these witches first discover their powers, that takes a large toll on a child. Can you imagine what that had done to an infant? No contact, no physical contact in any way, shape, or form. Always being told that they are probably the evil twin, that they wish their parents wish that they had never been born, that they just kept having kids until they had another set of twins, so that he and his sister didn't have to do the merge, because in his father's eyes, he was a failure because he wasn't an actual witch, he was a siphoner. That can fuck with a child's psyche. So, to a certain extent, I completely understand Kai's point. Maybe not killing everyone, but I can understand him being pissed enough to want to kill his father. And I can also, to a certain extent, understand why he wanted to torture his sister. To a certain extent. Now keep in mind, these characters are fake. These are all TV show characters, book characters. In no way am I condoning this behavior in any sort of way. This is just a fantasy world. This has nothing to do with my views in real life. If somebody were to tell me that they were a sociopath in real life, my ass would run for the hills. Do not get it twisted. I have a habit of being attracted to the really crazy characters. Like, I like Kai. I like Loki. I was gonna say I like Bucky, but Buck isn't He's not. A lot of the characters that I like, shut up. A lot of the characters I like tend to just be the guys that are just like, they are misunderstood. They're looking for that one person that, or that few people that are going to let them in, no questions asked, 100% trust. Now, obviously, trust is earned, it's not given blindly. So, when she shows them that she's not a threat, they are automatically going to be like, she's being nice to me. She's spending time with me. She's making sure I eat, making sure I drink, making sure I have someone to talk to, entertainment, stuff like that. Like Loki being locked in his cell, and Bucky not being comfortable going to anybody, and Kai kind of using his touch as a siphoner to be a weapon and realizing that it doesn't bother her. In a way, it's like, I can touch them without hurting them. I can be around them without feeling like something's gonna happen and I'm gonna snap and I'm gonna hurt them. Like, oh, Tomura Shigaraki is the same way. My character in My Hero Academia, which I'm probably gonna talk about again, if I haven't already. She goes for Tomura, and Tomura Shigaraki, his quirk is decay. Anything he touches turns to dust. And he doesn't have any control over his quirk. So when she comes to him and befriends him and everything, she doesn't fear him right off the bat like most people do when they hear about his quirk. To be completely honest, she's intrigued. So instead of fearing him, she talks to him. What is it that I'm allowed to do? What is it I'm not allowed to do? And at first, he's very coy. He doesn't give anything outright. He just says, it doesn't matter, don't bother me, that kind of stuff. I will get into my Tomura XOC later, but this one's for Kai. He transitions into a heretic, reveals his plans for Elena, and Damon kills him. Okay, so that is at the end of... God, that's all in one season? Fuck. And then at this time, Kai tied Bonnie's life to Elena's. And then at the end of the series, Kai shows up again after everything, and Bonnie then locks him in a 2018 prison world by Bonnie, Lizzie, and Josie. So I don't really have a lot for my character after that. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do with her, but I do think I am going to have it to where she doesn't necessarily stop him from causing shit at the wedding. He does still cause shit, but he doesn't like tie Bonnie's life to Elena's. Elena is fine. Maybe a couple of cuts and bruises, because I know the only reason that Elena went into that sleep and had her soul tied to Bonnie was because Ian and Nina had broken up or something. She didn't feel comfortable on set. I don't know. That whole lovers quarrel drama, because I think that was around the same time that he got married, or he was engaged to... Oh, her name just went out of my head. Rosalie from Twilight. Nikki Reed. Gorgeous woman. Oh my god. But, like, I don't know how exactly I'm going to tie her in. But it's been a while. I might not even bother tying her in, but that's my character. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry this was really random and very sporadic, and I went on a couple of tangents. Like I said, I do not condone any of these characters' behaviors. If you are going to date somebody who is willing to kill a shit ton of people, that might be something you need to look into yourself for. Go to therapy. Touch some grass. Go drink a cup of coffee. Go drink you some fucking water. Go take your medicine. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my other video.